Oh no, Alonso's now facing the wrong way. Now he's in the gravel. He's going to have to come back on the track here.
Careful.
Can he do it safely? Hello everybody and welcome to the WTF1 alternative commentary for the Race Legends Trophy. Here we are at the new Zandvoort, somewhere that we didn't get to race unfortunately in the real life Formula 1. My name's Matthew Gallagher and joining me in the commentary box is of course Tommy Bellingham. And Tommy, we have got some news, haven't we, for this race?
We have. A very special driver is joining the ranks. I'll let you introduce him.
Fernando Alonso.
Yes.
Unbelievable scenes, eh?
Incredible stuff. We've had some pretty amazing drivers and yeah, two-time world champion. Exciting times.
I'm not expecting a huge amount from him, but the race is about to start straight away, I've been told. So we're going to get straight into the action. Here we go, into turn one. Magnussen leading from Button, Salo, Alonso in P4. What a qualifying from him.
He's in the wall.
He actually gets up to P3 and he's in the wall. You can see him in the background there in the orange and blue car, and he is falling down the order, down to P7 now as Fernando. But out in front is Jan Magnussen for this 11-lap race around the new Zandvoort, Tommy.
Alonso must have had a mega qualifying already. Very new to these cars, but yeah, binned it in the wall, but he's still up in P7. Not too bad.
It's quite narrow, this track, isn't it? Very narrow indeed. I'm shocked he's got his Kimoa.
Oh!
Oh my goodness me. Alonso's been caught up in a huge accident. Fortunately for him, actually got away with it. And I don't know who the other two that got involved there.
One of the leaders was flying upside down over the hill there.
I'm sure we'll see some sort of replay very shortly, but here we are, lap 1 of 11. Jenson Button, who has won quite a few of these races, it has to be said, running in P3 at the moment. But Jan Magnussen, another of the front top competitors, leading at the moment from 2 seconds from Salo. So a brilliant start from Jan Magnussen, but Fernando Alonso running in P8. Must have had an amazing qualifying, we didn't see it, but very impressed right now.
Yeah, welcome to sim racing, Fernando Alonso. He's been in the wall and had someone flip upside down over his head in one lap of sim racing. So pretty eventful start for him.
Somehow he managed to survive that. I think the damage model is either off or on very, very reduced. Here we are, Antonio Liuzzi coming under pressure from Franchitti, who goes straight on. At turn 1, I believe Montoya went really deep as well, but manages to salvage his P4 at the moment. But Antonio Liuzzi up to P5, having a pretty strong showing, it has to be said. Here we have Fernando Alonso right behind Petter Solberg. Oh, goodness me, very hot into there as well. And may have actually made contact with Solberg, who was caught on the curve there, and Alonso somehow up to P6, despite having more contact than any other driver I've seen at the moment.
Alonso is doing really well to be in P6 after all the carnage that he's been involved in. Yeah, I think if we did have damage in this series, we'd have about 2 finishes, so it's a good job it's off, really.
Yeah, it's a very good job. With these amazing Brabham BT44Bs as well, we get to see amazing sliding, and I think this circuit is no exception to that. And here we have Franchitti and Fernandez battling for P8. Solberg just ahead in P7. And that's side by side, Franchitti and Solberg. Who's going to come out on top? Solberg not looking particularly quick at the moment after his amazing showing last time out. And he's just turned straight into Dario Franchitti and then gone spiralling down into the gravel, I believe that was. And he is very much out of contention right now. But what a shame for Petter Solberg, who for some reason just decided to turn in there. Maybe his peripheral vision was a little bit off.
Yeah, all Solberg's fault. But Franchitti must be the calmest man in the world. He didn't react at all to that. Just carrying on like just a little Sunday drive. No reaction at all.
Didn't even blink.
You'd be raging, wouldn't you, Matt?
Yeah, I'd be fuming. I'd be on the microphone and all sorts. Here we go. Here's Olivier Panis. P17.
Monaco.
Is that new for...
Yeah, it is. 96 Monaco winner, Olivier Panis. Didn't know he was racing too. Slightly overshadowed by Fernando Alonso, but a great driver nonetheless.
Yeah, maybe because he's not actually that far up the field as well. We weren't able to see him, nor the grid either. But Tony Kanaan running in P15, just ahead of David Brabham. And these cars are such a handful. Just really drifting slow. I mean, they're even more of a handful when you get punted up the rear end as Fernando Alonso decides to go and make some sandcastles around that right-hander. He completely misses his braking zone, it seems. And now he's right under pressure by Montero, who goes up the inside. And oh, my goodness me. Somehow both of them come out completely unharmed through that corner.
Not gonna go well.
There you go. Spoke too soon. Alonso gets away with it. Montero facing into the wall. And Fernando has been involved in all sorts.
Yeah, loves the attention, Fernando, and he's definitely getting a lot of camera time.
How is he still running in P8? I don't know.
I have no idea. He's had the most chaotic start. He's only 14, 15 seconds off the lead. What has happened to everyone else that they're behind Alonso?
Fernando must have some serious raw pace, but every other corner he decides to fly off the track or have some sort of incident. Here's Michel Jourdain, or Michael Jordan as I like to call him, coming under pressure from Jason Plato running in P14, and here we have our leader, lap 4 of 11, Jan Magnussen, really untroubled out in front at the moment. 2.4 seconds back is Mika Salo, who's having a pretty awesome race, it has to be said, although he's somehow lost 6 tenths in one corner. Although, there you go, the intervals are just rejigging and finding out where exactly they are on the track. But around 2.5 seconds between Mika Salo and Magnussen. Very impressed. Salo actually holding off Button, and Montoya, 2 of which have been incredibly quick in this series.
We're used to Jenson Button just checking out at the front in this series, so very impressive from Magnussen and Salo that they're managing to stay ahead of him, because Jenson Button has been the star of this series, no doubt. Oh,
Fernando Alonso
sliding
actually
McGee.
Yeah. There's Tommy's favourite phrase. It sounds like you're the one that has the McGee thing, but actually it's me that's kind of instilled it into your brain, isn't it? But
yeah.
Right now, Fernando Alonso has got pace. 15.5 seconds he was behind. Now 14.5 seconds behind the leader. So I was right in saying that Fernando is quick, like genuinely quick, but he just has no consistency.
Magnussen, Fernando is faster than you.
I don't think that'll be happening because he's in P8 and Magnussen's in P1. I don't know how they'll do that swap without losing any positions. Here we have Andy Priaulx and Helio Castroneves. Helio getting very close in the braking zone there, fighting for P10. Unfortunately, we've lost Di Francesco, or at least he's in the pits. Down in P26, we've got a hell of a lot of runners this time, Tommy. This series is clearly taken off.
Yeah, 26 runners on Zandvoort is asking for carnage. It's a pretty crazy track. As Castroneves going for the move on Priaulx.
Here we go, easy as you like, I think, with the overspeed into turn 1. Castroneves, can he get it slowed down? I saw a little wisp of smoke there from his front left tyre, but he manages to take P10 nice and easy. Max Papis is Castroneves' next target. And then you have Fernando Alonso getting a little bit of a world of his own in P8, but I'm sure he'll be quite happy running there at the moment. Fernando's having a good run as well in P7, usually one of the slower runners, it has to be said. No offence, but usually towards the back, unless it's a reverse grid. So Fernando's having a pretty decent showing, as is Franchitti. Yeah,
and I'm loving this track. We didn't get to see it, like you said, in Formula 1. What were you thinking about this track? I'm liking it a lot.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure of doing the shorter version of it on iRacing, and it's really fun, really good. So it's nice to see the different characteristics. It's a completely different sort of challenge for the drivers compared to a lot of the Formula 1 circuits on the calendar. So for me, very excited to see this in real life Formula 1. Do we have any stats? Go on, Tommy, I'm going to put you on the spot. Maybe not about the track, just anything. Give me one of your wonderful facts.
I can give you one about the track, because the final
Perfect.
corner, we're almost there now, on board with Brabham, is actually 18 degrees banking at the high
he's even
point.
wearing a Zandvoort shirt.
Oh, wow. Impressive stuff.
Sorry,
But
you were saying
18 degree banking, which is very steep, especially when you think, here we are on the banking here, 18 degrees when Indianapolis is 9 degrees, so that kind of puts it into perspective.
That's crazy. I imagine the F1 cars will struggle, or the teams, and the drivers will maybe struggle to begin with to get a good setup around this track, because it seems very difficult. There's lots of different elements to this track, meaning that you might be slower in one part, but quicker in another. So Jenson Button trying to get past Mika Salo, but it's quite a difficult track to overtake. I think even more difficult when it was the old Zandvoort. Can Jenson Button get through, Tommy? And where exactly is he going to be looking for the move?
It's difficult, isn't it? You've got to have, realistically, a great run in the final banking and go into turn 1. There's not a lot of overtaking zones. It's an old school track. With old school tracks don't come a lot of overtaking opportunities like we see on maybe modern tilt tracks where they're 10 lanes wide and constant hairpins. Whereas, Jenson's going to have to follow closely here, get in the slipstream of Salo around this banking, and then just send it into turn 1. So let's see if he can do it. Doesn't look close enough at the moment, but he's gaining in the slipstream.
Quite close in the slipstream. I think he might have a go here into turn 1. Jenson Button. This is for P2. He goes to the inside. Salo lets him go. And Jenson Button up to P2. Can he maintain it? Oh, there's a little bit of a gap up the inside. Does Mika Salo take it? He doesn't get enough purchase out of there, and it's going to be single file into this next section. So Jenson Button, brilliant move up to P2. Juan Pablo Montoya lurking in the background in P4. Can he get on the podium as well for this first race? Of course, we'll have a reverse grid race after this. And so these guys will be starting towards the back of the field if they finish where they are at the moment. But Jenson Button, can he start to close in on Jan Magnussen? It's lap 7 of 11. There is a little bit of time, but probably not a huge amount. But instead, Mika Salo gets a decent run out of that corner. Does he have a little look up the inside? Clambers over the curb. And I think Button might be safe now as Montoya starts to close in. Look how Mika Salo just looks so worried.
He does.
In the simulator, doesn't he?
I was just about to say that. Sim racing is meant to be enjoyable, and I've never seen anyone look so stressed doing it. Mika Salo looks so constant panic in his face the entire time, isn't it? His eyes wide open.
I love how far he goes back when he brakes as well. The full-on flex of his seat. But yeah, he's properly in the zone. I love to see it. I actually prefer to see someone like Mika Salo properly taking it seriously. As we see Fernando Alonso having a bit of a collision. Oh no, Alonso's now facing the wrong way. Now he's in the gravel. He's going to have to come back on the track here.
Careful.
Can he do it safely? No, he cannot. He absolutely clouts into the side of Helio Castroneves. And Mika Salo's gone very deep into turn 1. That might give Montoya a chance here into the slipstream. But no, nothing doing just yet. But he's very close. And Juan Pablo, to be fair, has a sniff of P2 here if he can get through Mika Salo.
Yeah, Jenson Button doesn't seem insanely quick. I'm very impressed with Magnussen's pace. It just shows how quick he was, that it isn't just the fact that he was being held up by Mika Salo. Jenson Button doesn't seem as quick.
The camera there of Montoya.
Wow, his son's
son
chilling.
Watching on.
There's our proof that we needed, that it is actually Juan Pablo Montoya and not his son.
And that's why it's called Team Montoya, because his son is watching.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Salo. Goodness me. Can you get much closer than what Juan Pablo is to the back end of Mika Salo? He's going to try up the inside here. That's an audacious move. Up to P3. Brilliant stuff from Juan Pablo. Can Mika Salo get the run back on him? He's right in the slipstream here, so Mika Salo could have an opportunity. It's going to be close. Oh, he's squirming under the brakes. But Juan Pablo Montoya takes P3. And it's 2 seconds now to Jenson Button whilst these two are fighting. And Liuzzi also having a fantastic race in P5. A little bit further back from these guys. We can see Thiago Montero up in the top right, having a fight with Andy Prio. Oh, the banking looks so good. Oh, goodness me. Look how much of a squirm Mika Salo's getting through there. Oh, he could actually have an opportunity into turn 1 as well. In the slipstream, will Mika Salo send it? Juan Pablo goes defensive. And Montoya just about manages to hold on.
Yeah, great battle. I love that banking. It's incredible to watch, and they get a mega slipstream going into the first turn. So there is overtaking opportunities.
Oh, Alonso's out.
Oh, yes.
Alonso is out of the race. I'm hearing it was a rage quit. Can you confirm that, Tommy?
I think he's given up. He after his incidents, he's had enough for the day. But he hopefully will be joining the reverse grid race.
Yes, indeed. It's great to have Emerson Fittipaldi back in, who still hasn't overtaken Fernando, who's DNF'd. So Emerson having a more difficult time with this new Zandvoort track, but great to have him on the grid all the same.
Just 203 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, but come on, he's more experienced than others in a lot of ways, and sim racing, unfortunately, is not one of those experiences that he's got much of. So Fittipaldi running at the back, but he hopefully, if the reverse grid actually works, goodness me, be on pole as Montero and Andy Prio come to blows into turn 1. Does it end nice and cleanly? It does indeed.
Great racing.
A replay that's clean, huh?
I know, what's going on? There's some nice moves being made into turn 1. Getting a nice slipstream down the main straight.
It's almost like they're improving. It's crazy to watch. Jan Magnussen out in front. Look at the concentration on his face as he goes into turn 1. And he really is in a class of his own. Lap 10 of 11, penultimate lap of the race. Jenson Button over 5 seconds behind. Juan Pablo Montoya can do nothing about Jenson either in P3, and Mika Salo there or thereabouts, but just falling off the back of the former Williams driver. Antonio Liuzzi running P5, Dario Franchitti P6, Adrian Fernandez still running P7. And Max Papis, haven't really seen much of him, but he's fighting with Castroneves, it seems, as we see Michel Jourdain fighting Andy Prio into turn 1. So Prio must have had some sort of mistake or just fallen off the back of Montero. good, nice, clean move. I'm very impressed.
Impressive stuff. Priaulx seems to be dropping back a bit. I wonder if his tyres maybe have gone, or he's just losing a bit of concentration at the end of the race.
Look, that's the thing. Like, we're not saying it's because of a mistake. We're saying because of the tyres going. This is how much these guys are improving. I'm so proud to watch it. Max Papis, another guy that is definitely improving in this series, running in P8. Just ahead of Helio Castroneves, who somehow survived the sideways shunt from Fernando Alonso rejoining the track. And he's going to have a go up the inside.
Oh, what a lunge.
Max Papis just lets him go.
Yeah, Max Papis broke very early there. Very
interesting.
Courteous.
Yeah, it's almost as though Max Papis is happy with a top 10 finish, but Montero's right behind him to try and relegate him to P10. If he's going to be as sort of calm and collected and just letting drivers go on the last lap of the race, that's why he was trying to take it easy. And now he's down in P10. Where is P11? Cannot see right now. And Tom Coronel back once again, just ahead of Andy Priaulx.
Priaulx's dropping down,
him.
He's dropping down the order, Priaulx, now.
He is indeed. Not sure what's going on with Andy Priaulx. Making mistakes left, right and centre, it seems. Look at the slide he's got going round this banking. Great to watch, but probably not the quickest way around the circuit.
No, I just saw the timing monitor actually, and Jourdan is the next up the road and will be battling for P10 on this last lap because he was very close.
Here we go. Jason Plato and David Brabham for P13. Can Max Papis hold on to P10? We can see it in the top right-hand side of our screens. Michel Jourdan, Michael Jordan, famous basketball player, all over the back of Max Papis. I don't have any sort of relatable celebrity that sounds like Max Papis, do you?
No. All I can think of is Olivier Panis, and he's in the race.
He's in the race, yeah. We can't really say it's Olivier Panis. Can Jourdan get through on Papis, who we know is being very conservative under the brakes? There's only a few corners to go now, but Jan Magnussen, I'm assuming we will see very shortly to take the victory. Yes, we do, as he crashes into the wall to celebrate and takes out the 150-metre braking board. Jenson Button comes home in P2. Juan Pablo Montoya comes home in P3. Can Jourdan take P10?
He's going for it.
He goes for it up the inside. That's going to be close. They're side by side into the last few corners. And Max Papis still manages to stay ahead in P10. Can he go up the inside? Here's Jourdan. He does. He sends it. There's contact. And oh, no. Look at that.
Pirot
comes out of nowhere to take P10 as the two collide. Jourdan will finish in P11. Max Papis, unfortunately for him, just a little bit too conservative. Can he take P11 to the line? He does not. He finishes in P12. Oh, my goodness me. That's a big crash. But Pirot out of nowhere, taking P10.
Yeah, Pirot didn't even realise he was right behind them, but just pipped them both for that final point. Just said, thank you very much. I'll be having that.
A race to forget for Petter Solberg, it has to be said. P17 in the end.
Wow.
But there you go. There's a classification of the first race of the two. We have the reverse grid coming up. So it's Magnussen from Button, Montoya top three, then Salo, Liuzzi, Franchitti, Fernandez, Castroneves, Montero and Pirot taking that P10 right at the death. A huge grid, Tommy. A huge grid. And this is going to make the reverse grid race probably the most chaotic thing we've ever seen.
I'm looking forward to it.
Hello everybody, welcome back. The reverse grid race time for this WTF1 alternative commentary of the Race Legends Trophy. My name's Matthew Gallagher and Tom Bellingham is alongside me once again. Don't know why I always introduce for the second race, but hey, you never know, someone might accidentally skip it. Here we go. The race starting order. Don't know how this happens because this is definitely not reverse. Emerson Fittipaldi definitely finished last. But we have Pirot on pole from Papis. Fittipaldi starting P4. And we've got Panis, Herta, Andy Priaulx, Michel Jourdan. Top 8. And I don't know why I guess maybe Fernando Alonso has been slapped on the wrist for leaving. I don't know.
Very unusual.
Either way, Helio Castroneves P9, Darren Turner P10, and Fernando is racing, but he is towards the back of the grid. Montero and Dominguez lining up on the 5th row of the grid, if I'm not mistaken. Then we've got Petter Solberg, Tom Coronel, Antonio Liuzzi had a great race in that first race, with Fernandez running P16. Also a pretty decent showing. Then we've got Servio Franchitti, Montoya, Brabham. And then we look towards the final, I believe, 6 spots. But we might have a few that are missing. We've got Alonso, Salo, Button and Magnussen. 23rd and 24th. We have to keep an eye out to see where Button and Magnussen end up. Here we go then. The lights are on. I can't see them, but I'm ready. It's green flag and away we go for the reverse grid race around Zandvoort. Pirro gets a fantastic start going into turn 1. Pappas in P2. Canaan taking the outside line into P3. We have a Jason Plato cam in the top right, and it's all sorts of bumping and barging here, Tommy.
Bumping and barging, but fairly clean so far. No one's spinning off. I've spoken too soon.
Far too soon. There's a car upside down. There's all sorts of carnage. I think Alonso's been caught up in it as well. Plato, Servio, Castro Neves is out of the race. Canaan, Dominguez, I think, got caught up as well. But out in front, it's Pirro from Pappas. Fittipaldi running in P3.
Excuse me?
Love it.
Incredible. Fittipaldi, yes, go on.
He finished a lap down in the last race, but he's running in P3, and that's what we love to see in this Legends Trophy. We've got Montero and Solberg running in P6 and 7. Solberg having a look up the inside. Fittipaldi now dropping down to P4. And as we see Darren Turner running just behind this trio of cars, with Fittipaldi getting a lovely exit, it has to be said, and might even try and take back P3 from Andy Brio, please.
He's going for it. Fittipaldi is feeling racy. I'm liking it.
I'm loving it. Closing in on the leader on that time on the intervals I just looked as well. But we have Montero and Solberg P6 and 7. Oh, goodness me. That's a late move from Solberg, who then just slaps Montero off the road. Does he stay on the road?
Oh, sorry, it was Montero. They've got very similar liveries.
It was indeed Montero. Solberg running in P6 now, having a much better outing, even though he just slapped the driver off the road.
P2.
That's going to be close into turn 1. Goodness me, we've got Fernando Alonso up in the top right, still in the race, but down in P18. Max Pappas, I think, has just lost a couple of positions, maybe. Yeah, Fittipaldi's up to P3 again.
Back in P3. And we've got Alonso
This is the content I love to see.
Alonso in our top right as well, going for a move.
Fernando Alonso, can he make the move, stick into turn 1? Or will he be involved in another incident? He hits the apex, which is lovely, and he's up into P17. But my focus right now is Emerson Fittipaldi fighting a man who owns a simulator company, Darren Turner.
Incredible. Fittipaldi is having the race of his life here. This is what we've been waiting to see since the very first one, haven't we?
This is unbelievable. This is the best drive I've ever seen. Don't you dare, Turner. Don't you dare. Oh, okay. So he goes up the inside. Turner takes P3, ruins the dream. But he owns his own simulator company, so...
You'd expect it. You'd expect him to be doing well with his own simulator company. But Fittipaldi is now going to have the biggest train behind him. It's going to be interesting to see how far he can stay up the grid.
Oh my goodness me, that's late on the brakes from Fittipaldi! No! Oh, the dream is gone. What a shame, Tommy.
Big shame. He really sent it there, but probably should have just been a little bit more cautious and tried to keep his position. This is absolute chaos now. They're everywhere, all over the track. I have no idea who's in what position. Everyone's swapping all over the place. It is a crazy race again.
Jenson Button up to P7 from 23rd on the grid, and we're on lap 3 of 11. What a start again.
Oh, Alonso's just gone to Narnia.
Alonso's upside down. Alonso is now facing the right way, but is he about to leave? Oh my goodness me, he's reset to the pits. He's gone. He's DNF'd. Alonso, a double rage quit after that incident. Oh no. Fernando Alonso, I did not think he would be susceptible for a rage quit there, but unfortunately, he's gone.
Yeah, disappointing. He had incredible pace, but unfortunately just got caught in so many incidents in this race. Let's hope he's back again for next time, because he is definitely on the pace, just needs to avoid a bit more of the carnage.
Indeed he does. Jenson Button up to P6 now as Pappas starts falling down the order, now down to P8. Fittipaldi making a move on Jan Magnussen, I think I've just seen, as Magnussen now takes that position back for P9. Oh, that got the heart rate going, seeing Fittipaldi in P3. I'm not biased, but I absolutely am. I'm a fanboy of Fittipaldi. I'm not just passionate.
He is. He's a great driver, and he's definitely just the fan favourite, isn't he, of this series? He's got to be.
Yeah, what a hero. What a hero. Here's a replay.
Oh.
Fernando, oh my goodness gracious me. Upside down, round and round. I'm not sure who he had contact with there. Did you see, Tommy?
I think it might have been Thiago Montero, who also looks to be out the race. I'm slightly concerned that the next race is Indianapolis, and if Alonso's like that on the banking, people have to be slightly worried.
It's a bit of practice, wasn't it, for that, and unfortunately he got caught up. Yeah, it's Montero, I think, who has had not one but 2 taps into the gravel, and then is this when he rejoins and then goes side? No, he still can't rejoin, and then he rejoins with Fernando. Is this how this ends?
Oh,
I think it is.
Fittipaldi.
Oh, this is Fittipaldi.
Oh no, sorry, it's Montero, but he's in Fittipaldi's livery. That's why I was so confused.
So that was what happened. Montero coming back just slowly on the racing line, and Fernando tried to do it up the inside, and unfortunately it ended in massive tears. Jenson Button running in P6, but not having the pace that we're used to seeing around this Zandvoort track. And Pirro, let's just take a moment to really admire the fact he is over 5 seconds clear of Andy Priaulx at the moment, with Darren Turner finally having a solid performance in P3, but knowing him, he'll have some sort of incident with somebody and he'll come off much worse.
Normally Priaulx, those two are always seem to be together on track. There is a little gap between them, but if they start racing again, it's probably going to end in tears, like it seems to do every single race between those two.
Absolutely. So right now we have 21 runners. Montero, Alonso, Castroneves and Plato are out of the race. There's Mika Salo. Looks like he's in a proper race car, although we don't usually see that with the fact they usually have a helmet on. So it's great to see the level of concentration these guys are putting in. And he's trying to take Max Papis up the inside, and he does indeed, with a bit of a squirm and a bit of a wiggle, up to P10 for Mika Salo, who's showing some decent pace.
Fantastic move. He's new to this series as well, isn't he? He's not been in all of the races.
New, I think 1 or 2 races.
Yeah, impressive stuff from Salo. Definitely enjoy watching his onboard.
Still my driver of the day, Emerson Fittipaldi, running in the top 10. And oh no, that's a bit messy from Dominguez on Canan, who now falls to the last runner in the field at the moment, 21st. And here we have a replay. Jan Magnussen in the slipstream, going towards turn 1.
Going for the move.
Nice and easy.
Easily done. Jan Magnussen, got a lot of pace this weekend. Very impressive.
Yes, that was on Coronel. He's up to P7. 1 second behind Jenson Button. Can he catch and pass Jenson Button? That could be a story as we move to halfway through this race. That's very deep from Liuzzi. Papis, I know he's early on the brakes, but he's not that early. And Liuzzi rather late on that. And in the top right-hand side of his screen, we can see Juan Pablo Montoya in the slipstream with Petter Solberg. This could end in tears. It's 2 very feisty drivers here going down towards turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? Solberg brakes quite early. Montoya going to try and hang it all the way round the outside. Which line is better? It's Solberg for now, but will Montoya go for another move? No. So Solberg stays in P4, and Fittipaldi and Salo now coming to blows in turn 1, and Salo pretty easily gets past the 73-year-old legend.
He does, but Emerson Fittipaldi's still up in P10, but he's got a huge gaggle of cars behind him, so hopefully he can still hold on to a point. It would be an incredible achievement.
Absolutely. Pirro 6 seconds clear now of Andy Priaulx. So let's have a look at these gaps then. Montoya 4 tenths behind, we can see it here. Still right behind Solberg. Turner's in sight as well. Oh, Solberg gets... that's a drift. Probably a little bit more of a drift than even Solberg wanted to do there. But Montoya, just watching the very different driving style of Petter Solberg. His tyres must be ruined by the end of these races. But it's great to see, and Button is closing in. He's right behind these two. And Magnussen, I imagine if they start to battle, we could have a 4-way fight.
It's one thing I do love about this series. Oh, Montoya being feisty, Petter Solberg sliding around the corners, and Jenson Button's getting involved in this now as we see the off-board camera in the top right. They're all involved.
All involved. Look at this.
Oh,
Three cars all battling now down towards turn 1. Montoya, Solberg and Button. Are they going to go 3 wide into turn 1? Who's going to come out on top? Montoya brakes so late, and Button somehow manages to take 2 positions there, up to P4, I think. Solberg and Montoya still tussling behind, but Jenson Button, what a move. Juan Pablo Montoya does not want to let this go, though. So close. It's really very much single file through here, though.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to overtake here. Not even Juan Pablo Montoya. Though, being said that, I would not be surprised if he went for a move. This is Montoya after all.
Absolutely is. It's so close between the two. And Jenson Button still hangs on. Solberg falling off the back of these two, who are most known for their unbelievable pace in this series. And Fittipaldi still running in P9.
He is, and if these guys take each other out.
Oh, P10. P9.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they keep swapping.
So Fittipaldi appears to be in an incredible battle as Solberg is still drifting his way around all the corners. Like you say, I don't know how his tyres last to the end of the race with driving like that.
Juan Pablo tries to make the move on Jenson. Is there a contact? There is. And can Solberg take advantage of this? Surely not again, boys.
Here we
We're
go
not
again.
Go 3 wide into turn 1 again. Here we go then, round the final corner and onto the long straight. Who's going to come out on top this time? I don't know if Solberg's close enough, although he gets a nice little drift around there. Down towards turn 1 we come.
Absolute deja vu
Montoya
here.
weaving all over the place.
Oh.
Button now round the outside. Can he make it stick? It's a bit deep. And Solberg now takes P5. Oh no, there's a collision. Solberg comes off worse. Where have we seen that before?
Yeah, not good there. I think Solberg tried to run it out wide and kind of chop the nose off of Jenson there, and it didn't work out in his favour at all. He's straight off and now going to be... Oh yeah, he's behind Coronel already, so dropping back into the pack.
Coronel's got some decent pace, it has to be said. Running in P6, quite a lonely race, or not that we've seen anyway. And here's a replay of Solberg, I imagine, doing some rather epic drifting.
Indeed, look at... if you ever need one slow-mo to look at Solberg. And Magnussen's dropped off the back, so I'm wondering what's happened to Magnussen. That.
Ah, there you go. As if by magic. Although apparently he must have had another mistake if he's running in now P17. Does he make another error? He does!
Oh, wow.
Goodness gracious me. We do not expect that from Jan Magnussen, who then couldn't get it out the wall, it seems.
Yeah,
is he beached?
He looks beached or stuck in the barrier. Yeah, unexpected from Magnussen, who won the first race fairly easily, I must say. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but Fittipaldi is still P10 and there's only 2 laps to go. I'm nervous.
If he finishes in the top 10, I might shed a tear. He's taken Solberg! Solberg's made a mistake now! Down to P12. Oh! Fittipaldi's P8! So Solberg's had some sort of incident here. Whilst we ride on board with Tom Coronel, I imagine hopefully we'll see a replay, but Emerson Fittipaldi has Liuzzi for company, it has to be said, so he might drop down to P9, but another second to Panis. The dream is alive!
Come on, Emerson. He's got 2-second gap ahead of Panis in 10th. And Papis, he's got a good lead on Papis. Surely this could be it. This could be his first point.
Here we go. Solberg spins. Does he take someone with him? The drift was a little bit too much, and he takes Papis with him.
And avoid.
Oh no! Or was that Liuzzi?
It was. Petter Solberg managed to bump into everyone but Emerson Fittipaldi there. Good lad.
Nice. So was that was Papis he made contact with then, I imagine.
Indeed.
Yeah, it must have been. So Emerson Fittipaldi runs in P8. Here we have the battle. Come on, Emerson. Sliding all over the shop. Tonio Liuzzi has to be the favourite in this battle. We still have over 2 laps to go.
I think Emerson just needs... Yeah, Emerson's just going to have to be sensible here, and if he needs to let people go to hold on to a points finish, he might have to do it.
I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? 73 years old, running in P8, and he's racing on a simulator. I mean, that's very close indeed. And I think that Liuzzi's going to get a decent run here down towards turn 1, where Emerson will lose his position. But 73 years old.
Unbelievable.
When my granddad was alive, he probably couldn't even turn on a computer.
Exactly.
So I just find it amazing that he is able to... Oh my goodness me, how deep is that into turn 1? Emerson keeps the position down towards turn 1 and fights for all he's worth.
Incredible stuff. Come on. Surely he's not going to finish in the points, but he's holding on brilliantly, but he's going to get a truly train anytime soon. He just needs to hang on for dear life.
I mean, his pace is good. Solberg's not closing that quickly. Emerson has got decent pace. 32 seconds off the lead, 10 laps in, so that's an average of 3 seconds a lap slower than the leader. Well, for want of not wanting to talk about the entire time, I kind of also do want to. So
absolutely.
Let's have a look at another battle. Franchitti for P15, just behind Jourdan. It's not the battle we want to see though, is it? We don't really care about P14 so much. We just want to see if Fittipaldi manages to hold on to P8.
I'm trying to watch this battle, but all I'm focusing on is the gap between Fittipaldi and
as am
Liuzzi.
I. So tell me if something happens. Here we go, in the top right-hand side of your screen, we have Liuzzi and Fittipaldi fighting.
We're on the final
In
lap
the
now.
last few corners of the lap. Emerson still stays ahead, keeping it nice and calm, collected, keeping his car in exactly the right positions. And he holds on for another lap. Now we come on to the very important part where he gets decent traction, it has to be said. Does Liuzzi get enough of the juicy suck with 2 C's? Down towards turn 1. Here we go. Emerson goes defensive towards turn 1. Antonio Liuzzi still cannot get through, Tommy.
Oh, sorry, that's really tickled me.
Hey, it's an alternative commentary for a reason.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows that. We mean that that's slipstream. But either way, Emerson Fittipaldi still holding on to P8. I'm on the edge of my seat at the moment. Solberg is closing in. Papis is nowhere. All they need to do is not crash, and Emerson Fittipaldi will finish in the top 10.
Come on, Emerson. He's been racing at Zandvoort, of course, when he was back in Formula 1, so he is experienced on this track. Maybe that's helping him now. And he just needs to hold on. And this would be...
This is like the battle for the win. No, Fittipaldi gets out of shape, and Liuzzi up the inside for P8. Where's Emerson in all of this? Can he get a run on him? No, he cannot. Drops to 9th. I think Solberg's right behind him as well. We can see in the top right-hand side. But Pirro comes over the line to win this reverse grid race for this Legends Trophy. It was a dominant drive, but we are focusing on Emerson Fittipaldi. Can he hold Solberg off into the last few corners? He goes defensive. Where's Solberg? There he is. Go on, Emerson. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Emerson is fine. Just stay in P10. That's all we care about. Maybe the drag towards the line. Emerson can maybe get Solberg back. But no. So that's Liuzzi up into P8. Solberg 9th. But the man of the hour, the absolute hero, 73 years old, on a sim race, Emerson Fittipaldi.
He's
P10.
done it. Incredible. I've never been so nervous watching a sim race of those final laps. I was willing him on.
Oh my goodness me. That was epic. That was
incredible.
Absolutely epic. What a drive from Fittipaldi, considering he was over a lap down in the first race. He looked like his pace was nowhere. Have a P10, lads. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're right. In the first race, he was so far behind and suddenly just, was able to stick with the pace. Impressive.
On the first page then, Pirro from Andy Perillo, Darren Turner. Then Juan Pablo Montoya, who did beat Jenson Button in the end. Tom Coronel, great result for him as well. Mika Salo, very good pace in both races, finishing P7. Tonio Liuzzi and Petter Solberg being the slight heartbreakers, taking Emerson Fittipaldi at the end there. But what a drive. P10, he's on the first page, and that is something he can be very, very proud of.
Very, very proud. Very, very impressive. Yeah, like you say, Tom Coronel as well, very impressed by him. He seems another one that didn't seem to have the pace, but as soon as he's kind of in the pack and mixing it with others, he seems to be able to go a lot quicker than he would normally just lapping around on his own.
Oh, goodness me. I need a lie down. Hope you guys all enjoyed this WTF1 alternative commentary.